Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to DIY Motorsport. I am Mike.
I'm Danica.
And today we are going to be working on the first build video of the frozen rock buggy. So we got the four-wheeler all tore down last night, as you guys saw just a second ago. And today I'm going to be working on trying to get the independent front diff turned into a solid axle. So I'll be kind of working on that and getting it mocked up.
And I'll be tearing apart this Jeep.
And so hopefully by the end of the video we'll have a shell. We'll have part of a solid axle. We'll have it at least mocked up so we can go ahead and lay everything out and start figuring out our drivetrain.
Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe.
Thanks guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I know it's pretty hard to see on camera, but Danica got her first little nick and a tiny little spot of blood working in the garage. Good job, dude. Now get back to work. Okay guys, so Danica got the power wheels all tore apart. I went ahead and helped her cut the whole bottom out of it. It's kind of just rough cut. We'll have to figure out exactly what lines we want to cut and everything when it's finalized. And then, like I said, we'll probably extend it a little bit, but I don't want to extend it very much. So we're going to look at it. The plan is, we'll have the motor in the front coming out the hood, and then I want to have the axles about even with the back and the front, just to kind of give it that rock crawler look, have everything extended to give it the longer wheelbase, and then also it will help us to get our wheelbase without having to extend it very much. So she's gonna go ahead and get it all cleaned up. It's pretty dirty, so she's gonna get it cleaned up, and then we are going to move on to the axle. I'll kind of show you what I've been working on, and then we'll jump into it and keep on going. So let's look at it. All right guys, so the plan is we've got our front diff right here. So these caps are actually what hold the axle in right now, the CV. So we are going to cut out, while she was tearing it apart, I traced them out and got everything drilled. So these right here, you can see there's a seal right here. So these are going to press and bolt onto right here. And it's not going to be super strong, but it's going to be enough to definitely give us our shape. And then we've got some 1-inch Schedule 40 pipe that we're going to weld to here, and then we're going to cut to length on each side with the diff being offset. Now that's not going to be nearly strong enough, having the pipe and having these. And so we've got some more pipe, just some 1-inch 095 tubing that we are going to bend to go around the diff on 3 sides and attach the 2 axle tubes to each other, and then we're going to gusset all that up real strong. And to do it, to make sure it's straight, we've got a pretty big piece of plate right here. We've got some angle iron, and so the first thing we need to do is to just make a jig. And basically with the jig, we're going to set our tubing in it, clamp it all into place. We're going to cut these down. We will weld these in, and then we will bolt it all together, and then set it up in the jig and clamp everything down. And then that way we can go through and final weld and then do our bracing and make sure that when we do our bracing, going from one side to the other and all that, that everything is straight. This is the motor out, and holy shit, it is big. The motor itself isn't very big, but this whole transmission is huge. So it's going to be interesting. I don't really know what we got ourselves into, but we're already into it, so we're not going to... Enough talking, let's just go ahead and tear right into it. Okay guys, so we got 4 pieces just kind of cut out, and we're just going to weld them on. There'll be 2 close, and then we'll have the gap for the diff, and then 2 a little bit further apart. We're going to weld the angle iron to it, and then once it's all welded up, we will cut the center of the angle iron out to fit the diff, and then we will go ahead and start placing stuff in there to mock it up. So let's get going. Okay guys, so we got the jig all welded together, just basically a piece of angle iron on plate. So this is where we're going to cut out in order to fit our diff. Okay guys, so going through and cutting those triangles, I had bought a pack of cutoff wheels from Harbor Freight, and I went through like 4 of them, and it's all I could think is these are garbage. I looked a little closer and realized that they were masonry bits. So Just got back from the store. I got some metal cutoff wheels, so we are going to go ahead and get started again. Okay guys, so we got it in the jig. We'll be able to do 2 out of the 3 in this jig. And so is what I want to do is on the top and the bottom, I will do some shorter ones that come here. And then across the front, I want to do a longer one that comes around. All of it hugging fairly close to this. So we'll be able to do the one over the top, and we'll take it out and flip it around, and then you see these are kind of angled. We'll be able to kind of tilt this up a little bit, and when this is flipped around, we'll be able to do the long one that comes across the front, and then we'll have to at that point take it out and do the third one. But once we have the 2 in, we should be good. Like I said, we'll get it all tacked in, and then once everything's done, we should be able to unbolt it, slide it out, and final weld everything. So let's go ahead and start bending up for our first brace. good portion of it built. I screwed up my measurement on the first one, and I don't have enough tubing to do it, so I'm gonna have to get more, and then we'll redo this bottom one. But this is all final welded. Turned out pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and bolt it back to the diff now that it's cooled down a little bit, and then we can kind of just lay everything out and see what the overall plan is. Okay guys, so obviously this is very roughly set together, but here's kind of the plan. So I've got kind of the axles where I want them. The motor's pretty close to where I want it. The front of the motor will come out the hood, so that will be slightly exposed, and we'll probably end up stretching the body maybe a foot. I'm not opposed to having the tires stick out front and back. That's kind of actually the plan. So we'll extend the body a little bit, simply because where the motor's going to be is kind of in your foot space. So we'll extend it a little bit, and then we'll build covers and guards over all of this, and then that's where your feet will go. So let me pull off the body and kind of show you everything. So we'll have the both diffs, they'll be off to the side, and so you can see there with our motor height about right there that we'll have a pretty good shot for the front drive line, and then it still has some room for the suspension, which we will bump stop to where it's not gonna hit into anything and hurt it. And then the rear, we might have to angle the motor down just a little bit, but that's not a terrible angle for the CV. Come off right there and we'll come down to here. So this is gonna get extended. That front one's going to get shortened quite a bit, and that's basically the layout of how we're going to do it. I've got some of the pipe for the frame, so on the next video we will start on the frame. It's just 1 inch 1/8 wall piping, so that's what we'll bend the whole frame out of, and going to cut pretty much all this off and get rid of all of it, and start over, different tabs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for joints yet. Probably do high joints and then 4-link it. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Gonna go ahead and end this video here. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks guys.